don't expect those who put us in a position of servitude to undo the damage. They will continue it for as long as we are stupid enough to continue to listen to their lies. Wake up, Africa. Wake up, black people around the world. Africa is your problem. Own it, the good, the bad, and the ugly. For Africa to change, for you to be able to benefit from what is yours. What's in Africa is the inheritance of every black person on earth. But if you're stupid enough to listen to the lies, and while they continue to exploit your Africa, while they continue to amass wealth for their children, grandchildren, and generations to come, then the joke on you.
Madam Arikana sends a powerful warning to African leaders still acting as Western puppets. Don't skip any part of this video. Her powerful speech is one every African needs to hear. Watch until the end.
Why are we still going to the United Nations as Africans? That is a useless entity. It's not for us. The largest voting bloc in the United Nations are the African nations. We don't have a seat on the table. Why do we go there? We go to the United Nations to vote on their issues. They pay African countries, or vote with us on this issue. Vote with us on this issue. We have no business going to the United Nations, period. We need to tell Secretary Guterres, thank you very much, but we're no longer going to attend United Nations. It's not our entity. Until we have true representation there. Goodbye.
All right.
I mean, it's true.
Sure.
With every engagement with the West.
All right.
For example, Zimbabwe and many other African countries, the remains of our ancestors who they murdered are still sitting in jars in their countries. Why are we going to engage them?
Right.
We want those remains returned with repercussions. Until that's happened, everybody from your country out. If you were former Portuguese colony or Portuguese, get out of my country. I love it when, remember when there was this rift between President Mugabe and Prime Minister Tony Blair. And Blair was like, we're coming to take all the British out of Zimbabwe, we're airlifting them. And the response President Mugabe was, listen, I've given all my police and military that if you see any British citizen that wants to get out, escort them to the nearest exit point. Get out. If we can just make that position, your government is abusing us. Your government is refusing to give us back our ancestors, the remains of our ancestors who they murdered. Your government is refusing to give us back our artifacts, precious artifacts, priceless, that they stole. Until these wrongs, these blatant wrongs are righted, every British citizen get out. Every Portuguese citizen get out. Every German citizen get out. Let's see how quickly things will change.
They'll move from there.
It is those citizens who are going to now go to their government and say, we didn't know you were doing that. Let me make this point clear. The citizens do not know of the crimes that are being committed by their governments. So let's put the power back to the people. Let's remind the people that every constitution starts with we, the people. So let's make those citizens, they must succeed in their civic duties. We, the people, are the ones who are failing. Let's come together. Let's understand the issues. And so for those of us who are elders, who are in the know, we have a responsibility to educate and to inform. Once the citizens are empowered with knowledge and the understanding of what is really going on, I do know for a fact the average citizen of the world wants a righteous world, a world that is free of hate, racism, bigotry. That's what the average citizen wants. Here you are getting ready to get your independence between the late 50s, early 60s. You are getting your independence, but before you do, we want you to sign this document that is called the Pact for the Continuation of Colonization. Agree to continue to be colonized, but we're giving you some independence. So I took the time to really make sure that I would hammer that message to the African diaspora. And I would also say, you are being thrown a shiny object. They want you to focus on corruption in Africa. I'm not saying we don't have corruption in Africa, but then there's corruption everywhere. In fact, if the truth be told, there is a lot more corruption in the Western world than in Africa.
It's just not as blatant.
It is blatant.
Right.
They call it lobbying.
Right.
You know, so it's a different name. But be it as it may, the corruption watchdogs from the West have said 50 billion gets out of Africa from corruption every year. I get it. It's a lot of money. Let's go after it. But I'm also saying, African diaspora, wise up, listen to me. So we got a thief with $50 billion in the briefcase running away. Let me tell you about another thief. A little bitty country called France. And then I'll proceed to tell them about the pact for the continuation of colonization.
Right.
Through that pact, one aspect of it, which had to do with bank reserves, France is taking out of Africa over $500 billion every year.
Right.
So now I've told you about the thief with 500 billion and the thief with 50 billion. You are putting all your energies going after the thief with 100 billion. I'm not saying don't do that. Let's do that. But let's also prioritize. For you to be completely ignorant of this other thief with 500 billion. So after I finish doing that, invariably, every question without fail. But Ambassador, African leaders are corrupt.
Right.
I said, I get it. Why am I not getting 10 times more outrage about France? Yes, get outraged about what's happening in Africa. But I want the 10 times outrage about what's happening. And that's just France.
Right.
Look at Germany. They gave us a token 1 billion after the genocide in Namibia. Do you even know about that? Are you outraged about that? Look at Britain. Who goes to mourn the Queen and everything that happened under her watch and what happened under her mother's watch? You know? So we got to be realistic here. Why do we keep turning another cheek?
This message deserves to reach every African. Share this video with your loved ones and stay until the end to hear Madam Arikana's full speech.
IMF, World Bank, all other institutions, they make African countries jump through hoops. Loans will never be able to pay. The US, when they borrow money, they're getting it in 1.5, 1.9 interest rate. Africans, when they get the same amount of money, they're paying 9, 10%. The people who don't need a break, they get a break. The ones who need a break, they don't get a break. The sheer survival of the World Bank, IMF, is based on the fact that African countries and many other developing countries do not succeed. Their success is based on our failure. That has to change. And guess who can make that change? We, the children of Africa, we, the Africans, are the ones who have to say, we know your game now. Enough is enough. We're not playing it anymore. And this is where the diaspora come in. There are more Ghanaian doctors in New York City than in the entire country of Ghana. There are more Nigerian doctors in LA than in the entire country of Nigeria. So let's be serious here. What Africa needs is capacity, capacity, capacity. And that capacity is in the diaspora. So it behooves us to bring the diaspora together. Let them understand what is really going on in our Africa. Diaspora are not going home. Diaspora are angry about Africa because they are not understanding the root cause of why Africa is where it is today. They think getting rid of a president will take care of the problem. Far from it. That president is just going to be replaced by another one who is going to equally suffer from the same difficult environment to work in. So let's look at an Africa that must be free to take care of herself, an Africa that's free from exploitation from outsiders. The multinationals who are stealing from Africa every day in broad daylight. I use an example of the DRC. If you ever fly very low over the DRC, you'll see tarmacs in the jungle. You'll see 747s flying into DRC, picking up minerals and flying right out. The same multinationals are responsible for arming young people and giving them MK-16s. Because why? Their satellites in the skies are telling them where that village is. There are lots of diamonds. So what do? Arm young people, drag them up, and send them to go chop off a few heads. The rest of the village runs away, so they come behind and do their illegal mining. We black people must understand what is really going on. Because what we are shown instead is, oh, look at those Africans killing each other. There are some serious games that have been played in Africa for far too long. And once we understand that, we can strategize as to how we can begin to bring the difference and bring the change that Africa needs. And that change can only come if the African diaspora are united. And the Wakanda villages, as I call them, it is our organized way of saying, starting with one African diaspora center of excellence It will be a new city, a developmental hub that we can then take from there. Every sector is developed.